Oh my god. Okay. Thank you. I'm gonna go back to the beginning. And that's fine. Okay. Oh, hi, Kai. Um, okay. So I'm gonna go back to the beginning. We're gonna start with just a basic overview. I'm gonna assume that, people watching this aren't involved in The Sims as a phenomena. You might have played the game, but probably aren't involved in online communities. Probably don't read the wikis, things like that. Aren't engaged at maybe the level I am. So we're just gonna start by showing you. I'm just starting by showing you off how many challenges there are, and just like how big of a thing it is. So we've got this list here. I'm going to call it a fairly comprehensive list, but it won't catch everything. It won't catch, for example, the challenge I made, or at least if the challenge I made is on here, I don't know about it. It'd be really funny if I saw that, but I don't think it's here. The other things, I won't know about all of the challenges that exist either, because I don't really engage with The Sims as a social thing. Just because there are a lot of bad takes on the internet, and I don't want to get involved in a lot of them surrounding The Sims. I've seen enough. I've seen too many of those shitty takes. No more. None more. So here we go. This is just the list. So I was actually just freaking out when I noticed that there was no sound, because I was scrolling down here, which so these ones. Sorry, actually, I'll start from the top. These top ones are generational challenges. So these are challenges that start with one sim, usually just one sim, and then they'll end up going for on average, I'd say about 10 generations. There's usually the goal is to get your 10th generation or your 11th generation to young adult level, and then the challenge ends. The official challenge ends. I do know that some people go over 10 generations. A YouTuber I've watched just, when she got to 10th generation, changed challenges. She literally swapped from a standard legacy challenge to a not so berry challenge, which is one of the most popular ones. Just when she reached generation 10. So she's starting again with another 10 generations at the same save file. So, and then there's got story-driven legacies. These ones are like, in TTRPG terms, these are like pre-written adventures. The story-driven legacies have decided what your storyline is going to be ahead of time. They'll sometimes be generational as well. But you'll see things like here, like the Oran Host Challenge, Royalty Challenge, Friends TV Show Challenge. There's very, very strange things out here. I can't explain all of them. I was losing my shit earlier when I realised that there was no sound, because I was looking at the aspiration challenges and I saw the socialism challenge, which I'm gonna have to look up later. It says it's a video at the link, so I won't click it now, but next time I might have to dive into that a little bit on next Thursday. That's very funny to me. Appearance, say yes, create a style. Create a style is what or CAS, is what I'll create a sim, not create a style. Create a sim. It's what the sim builder is, like where you make your family. And this one is usually shit. These are often extremely shit. I don't know if you can see here, we've got the Ugly challenge, start with a pretty sim and breed ugly sims till generation 10. Or the pretty challenge, which is the other way around. Start with an ugly sim and try to make a pretty sim by generation 10. There is the ethnicity challenge, which I'm terrified to click that link. There's a lot that goes on in this community. I just don't engage. But, whew. You know? Whew. Career challenges. These are fairly obvious. They're to do with in-game careers. A Control 1 sim challenge. One of the major parts of the Sims is changing which sim you are currently controlling. So this gets rid of that. You only control one sim and have them interact with other sims who are on autopilot, basically. Children challenges. So a lot of challenges revolve around having just so many babies. For example, the 100 baby challenge, which I believe, I'm not super familiar with this one, but it's very, very popular. And to my knowledge, the goal is to have 100 babies by 100 fathers. Like, you play a sim who can give birth, and you want to be impregnated by 100 different people and have 100 babies. Note, the maximum size of a sim household is 8. So this takes a very long time. There is full town control, so that's also called rotational play, where you will, instead of just controlling one family and having the rest of the town be on auto, you would play one family for a bit, switch out to a different household, and when you're not playing a household, it'll usually their story will progress, usually completely randomly, because it's the Sims AI. It's not great. It's very complex. It's very good at what it does. It doesn't do what you want it to do all of the time. Ghost challenge, fairly clear. You want to have ghosts. Homeless challenges. You have no house. Industrial challenges. Yeah. I don't advocate for these. The 3 versions of the asylum challenge, the prison challenge, the university challenge. Remember when I said that I don't like to get involved in the community with The Sims? Yeah. Love challenges. Like the Black Widow challenge involves marrying people, killing them off, and taking their money. Gold Digger challenge is basically the same, except you don't need to kill them. I don't know the rest of these. Though I do know the Bachelorette challenge. That's actually one that requires viewership, because it gets other simmers to submit potential love interests. The money challenges, classics. You want to, these are just about, like, earning money, pretty easy. A lot of the Sims official scenarios are similar to the money challenges. Rebuild the town challenges, these are about using the build buy mode, and, like, building on lots. Yeah, the trifecta of asylum, prison, university is a very interesting one. I don't remember the philosopher, Um, but there's that, school is a prison. Everything's a prison. Everything is prison. Um, yeah. Um, yeah, rebuild the town challenges. I think for the most part these are fairly simple. But the found your town challenge, I believe, involves your family being like the dominant family, like most of the people in town being like from your family, or I've seen some like that. I don't know if it's that one, but yeah. Um, skill building, pretty easy. Survival, these are kind of fun, but sometimes uh aren't. Um, sometimes they involve uh they involve a lot of killing of Sims, which is like that's a part of the game I don't really engage with that much. Build challenges are also very popular. They usually involve just using build mode. There's user submitted challenges here, but yeah, this is not every challenge that exists for The Sims 4, but it is a fairly good legacy of them, and like a fairly good database of them, I guess. I don't know why I said legacy. The thing about these is people don't just play them. Most people do. I mean, there are people who just play them, but there are hundreds of YouTubers, of Twitch streamers, of at-home players, of people who post their play on Instagram or Tumblr or Twitter, I think. There are hundreds and hundreds and hundreds, maybe thousands of people who only engage with The Sims through challenges. I'm honestly kind of one of them. It's a tradition that goes back to very early Sims. Sims 1, I believe, had challenges. Sims 2 definitely did. Sims 3 definitely did. I did participate in them. In Sims 3, for sure. And they're literally... The game gives you no frameworks, right? The game is a sandbox. It's free for all. You can do anything you fucking want. There are no... there are very little restrictions, and there are cheats for anything that... there are cheats that override any restrictions that the game does place on you. And... So, Sims players, since the beginning of the series, have been artificially creating limitations and guidelines for themselves in order to make the game more fun. Which is absolutely wild sort of, like, an absolutely wild way of engaging with a very popular video game, right? Like, I've never played another game, for example, where I would build a spreadsheet, or I didn't build the spreadsheet, I'm filling in an existing spreadsheet that somebody else made for a legacy challenge. Where, you see here, you're listing your Sims. This is a legacy challenge I haven't actually finished. I always get like 4 generations in and then abandon them. But these extremely complex spreadsheets are commonplace. It is completely normal to have to track your challenges in one of these. And I know that other people do have spreadsheets for like their Genshin Impact characters and stuff, but those tend to be, like optimizing the game to win or whatever. The only comparison I could think of for other video games is Pokemon, which again, because it's very simple, because there's a lot of freedom in this in Pokemon, people create artificial challenges to make it harder, to make it more fun. This is the fucking Nuzlocke run of The Sims, this shit. But because people are posting about these stories that they create using these challenges online so much, you also get into a bit of roleplay. And that's not just in terms of playing a character, but it is also in terms of like constructing artificial storylines that don't actually make sense within the game's mechanics whatsoever. So I'm gonna just... Oh, so this is my Sims blog on Tumblr, which, yes, okay, don't ask. Actually, no, I won't go to mine. I will go to... See if I've got one in this blog. So here's another challenge that I reblogged because I was looking through it. This is CC. It's for The Sims 3. This is somebody has created little cleaning product bottles for you to put in your house as decoration for The Sims. I just think they're really funny. Oh, come on, I must have reblogged. So look at this here, for example. This is just an example of how Sims gameplay in this game, like in online, works. This stuff, I can't tell if this is using CC or not. It might not be. I think it's using a little bit. Yeah, it must be. That dresser isn't base game. This is absolutely bonkers. To do this build here, you have to use several cheats, custom content, and individually place every item using a control system that does not want you to do it. For an example of how Simmers are TM, the legacy challenge rules. Here's one. These story posts these create narratives out of what the Simmers are doing, like what the Sims are doing, which is like just describing what they got up to, but as though they're people, and as though they are conscious of the ways they are interacting with the world. Like, I guess he said he had done enough work for the day, for example. There's just... This will be an example of this person's gameplay that is very... like a very small part of what they do. If I go to this person's home... How do I... I'm not good at this. Here we go. There is so much effort that goes into this stuff, right? Miracle's been stressed lately because being 9 is hard. For context, 9 isn't a thing Sims can be. They're children or they're teenagers. They don't go through really many changes in that at all. His sister called for the first time since the divorce. Irrelevant. The Sims don't care. The Sims don't care about that. Pregnancy cravings have kept her up all hours of the night cooking. There's a lot going on that just isn't how the game works. And yet it's very, very much created to be as though that is how the game works. Because that's how these stories get told. And they take a challenge, they make it their own, they tell the stories, they post about it, sharing exactly what they've been up to, what they've been creating. They've got these very, very deep, they create very, very deep emotional lives for Sims that fundamentally don't really exist in the game, and they exist more now than they used to. But this has always been happening even since before the changes that have made Sims more unique individuals. I'll just get rid of that though, and I'll come back here. So if I go there, look at that. So this is one of the biggest ones. This is this legacy challenge. This is one of the 10 generation challenges that has existed for a very long time. You can see here there's Sims 2 legacy challenge rules on this website. This is all of the different rules and cheat sheets and things for playing a legacy challenge. This is a spreadsheet for a legacy challenge. And legacy challenges I have a lot of trouble with. It's the thing I play the most, but it's the thing I hate as well. It is impossible at this level of at this late in the game's development, because the Sims is constantly releasing new packs that include new aspirations, new careers, new traits, and so on and so forth. It's actually impossible to finish a legacy challenge as the rules are written now if you don't play base game only, because there are too many options. This game, this sort of challenge, says, complete all of these things within 10 generations. You can't do that anymore. It's not really a thing. But they still try. And there are they've edited some of the rules to cooperate with the additions, but it's very, very complicated. So more and more popular these days are more specific legacy challenges, ones that give you the bones of a story and ask you to fill in the details. So one example of that is one I actually wrote myself, which is based on one type of occult. So it's a non-human sim, which is the spellcaster occult. Spellcasters do what it says on the tin. They cast spells. I wanted to play with that, and I also wanted to do a new legacy challenge, so I went ahead and created this. There's rules. I've actually updated the rules since this. This doesn't exist anymore. But yeah, you can see, and I add things like roll 6-sided die to determine how many children each generation should have. I also roll dice for my Sims genders. Sims assigned gender at birth is already randomized, but I roll a 6-sided die. On a 1 and a 6, they're non-binary. On a 2 or a 4, they're girls. On a 3 or a 5, they are boys. And I just make them trans as appropriate, because it's more fun that way for me personally. I just don't like to play a heteronormative lifestyle. That's just how it is. One sec. Sorry if you can hear me like drinking. I don't have a easy mute button. There's specific rules, but the key to these rules is that they very hard to read because they used a terrible font. What they do is they lay out a basic story and requirements for each generation. So, for example, your starting sim in this one has a little bit of story here at the top, and then the requirements below. So, renovating the family house, befriend as many occult sims as possible, marry another spellcaster, overcharge your magical power at least once, etc. Like that kind of thing is what's more common these days. So you've got these bare bones stories, these prompts. I'll call them prompts for playing that go generation by generation, tell you what to do, and that's how you win, is by completing it all, right? Then, in the last year or so, the official Sims, we don't need that anymore. The official Sims team introduced these things called scenarios. This is what we're going to do today. We're going to play one of these, once I'm done rambling. So these scenarios are codified into the game itself. And you get little alerts, woo, you've done it, kind of things. And these are really interesting because it's the first time that The Sims has decided that you shouldn't need to go to independent websites or Tumblr or Sims community to find challenges. So they've gone scenarios. We'll call it scenarios, distinct from challenges, but we'll provide these stories for you, and you'll just play them. And I'm really, really interested in this because as an acknowledgement of the way people play, and also they're kind of designed to tutorialize some things. So, for example, and also they exist to promote packs. That's the other thing. They're also advertising. So Engaged in Conflict and Honeymooners both came out around the same time as the Dream Wedding pack, which came out in February. Then I believe so did the Power Couple. Finding Love After a Breakup, that's actually one of the first ones they released. Making Money, this one is literally just work your way to 1 million simoleons. There's all sorts of things now. And there are, like, difficulty levels. They didn't have those when they started, but they've started doing it now, inputting difficulty levels, so that if you're a beginner or if you're, like, you always play Sims, you will know what you're doing and how to do it. And we're going to play one of these. So I was thinking of doing the extraterrestrial researcher one. But what do you guys think? I'm thinking either extraterrestrial researcher, unlucky chef, or the frog fanatic limited time one. I don't know what the frog one's about. I think you just have to collect all of the frogs. But yeah, I don't know. What do we think? What do we think? Also, hi Sam. Okay, let's do aliens. Let's do aliens then. Let's go. Okay, so it'll give the scenario here. A sim obsessed with outer space knows we cannot be alone in the universe, and this sim is determined to discover all there is to know about extraterrestrial creatures. Unfortunately, getting into space is not so easy. You need a lot of spare time and possibly money to go looking for these mysterious critters. First step would be to build a DIY rocket that could take the sim to space and back again safely, more or less. How hard can it be? So I need a sim who is young adult or older, and I need to bring back 5 unique living alien critters from voyages into space. Oh, that's pretty easy actually. I thought it would be to do with like the actual alien occult, but oh, I didn't know you were streaming either. Well, we'll let's coordinate next time. Okay, so I'm gonna go play with new household because my current only save here is Elixir Challenge, and I don't want to fuck with it. So let's go. Okay. I'm not interested in her. Let's go. Okay, but we're going to do a bit of a makeover. I won't go too detailed because that's not what we're doing here. We're playing challenges and examining them. That's good hairstyle. Can't be bothered with makeup. Let's go for nature. Let's go for loves the outdoors. Let's go for oh, genius. Make rocket ship easier and adventurous. That'll okay, let's go styled looks. It's not really it. Yeah, that's cute. I'll go with that. I don't love those shoes, but I don't care. Doesn't matter really what your formal wear is. I do like that outfit though. Workout gear. Let's do that one. Wait. I said try the style. There we go. Oh, that blush is terrible. Fuck off. There we go. I'm doing alright. I am at my parents' house. I'm in currently my old bedroom from when I was in high school. I'm not currently sleeping in this room. It is a storage room. It is full of bullshit, but it's got my parents' dining table in it, which I'm using as a desk. Because my parents removed their dining table from their living room because they never used it. And it was too big, question mark, quotation marks. Those are acceptable pajamas. I'm just going to change the swatch on the... Yeah, there we go. That is a pretty good look, but I will change the shoes. Cowboy boots don't really look great in that colour against your skin, love. They blend in too much. If they're... I don't like that colour at all. Okay. Whatever. I thought there were another pair of cowboy boots. Because I do like cowboy boots for you. Where are they? Oh, they're not under party. Okay, well that's fine. Let's do heels or wedges then. Those will work. Let's go with no, we'll do the other ones. What do I go to? That's cute. I'm gonna make you match though. That's fair. That's fine. And so is that. Okay, perfect. What's the name? Randomize. Joelle. That sounds right. Simpkins. Sure. Don't love Simpkins as a name, but it's fine. Apologies to anybody who's watching whose name is Simpkins. I think your name is a bit silly. I'm also going to use like an EA pre-build for this, but I'm going to be mad about it, so don't be surprised if I am complaining about that, because actually no, we're gonna live in Oasis Springs. Let's go to the desert. Let's go to the pre-built lot. I don't like that one. I don't like any of these. I'm gonna grab one from the gallery. Oh, I can't place them right now. Okay, well, I'll move in here and then I'll place one from the gallery. Okay, pause that, go to the gallery. What is that? What did I decide on? I decided on the walls modern, didn't I? This is going to take a second to load. And I'm just gonna make a couple of changes because she doesn't have kids and she will not be having them, and so we don't need to have that room like that. And we can also, oh shoot, I can't afford, okay, so we can't by default afford to have a rocket ship. The rocket ship is $5,000. Yeah. And then it's $1,000 to actually start building it too. So, I guess the first trick will be earning some money. And we're going to join a career to do that, I think. Okay. We're gonna go with the astronaut career. Because it seems good and relevant. You always get this prompt at the beginning of a game. Have you been to Black Spire Outpost on Batu yet? I hear it's the adventure of a lifetime. You should go check it out. We will not be doing that. But EA is required by law, I think, to plug their Disney tie-in. So, we won't begrudge them that. Whoops. Alright, that's on pause. Okay, so we became an astronaut. And the game says, actually, let's go into build mode, because the game says I have to play chess for my job, so let's buy a chess set. No, not that button. That one. Hideous. There we go. So, the game isn't telling me exactly what to do. I know what to do because I've played this game for 2,000 something 100 hours. But the game is saying that I'll need to bring back 5 unique living alien critters from voyages into space. Those are collection items that come when you have a rocket ship. You've fully built the rocket ship and you are like using it. Rocket ships are expensive. So I got a job. And the other thing I can do actually is to get collectibles. So I'll let her play chess for a bit first. Fishing is a really good way to make money. And so is breaking open rocks and pulling the collectibles out of them. So, or there's going to be a frog in there. A little community garden space. There's a rock that has stuff in it. Okay, I'll just fast forward time. And these challenges, by The Sims are an attempt to... welcome wagon. This is Johnny Zest. He's one of the base game townies. Townie is a pre-built by EA, like EA Maxis populates the town with townies, and then they have little backstories and stuff, but I don't give a fuck about those. Thank you for coming. Usually they bring fruitcake, and I'm really disappointed in Johnny Zest for not bringing me a fruitcake. You're gonna play, chess with me, Johnny Zest. No? Why not? Why? It's not locked. There's no good reason you shouldn't be able to do this. Oh, there we go. I don't know what that was about. Now this is actually going to take quite a long time, this challenge, because it does require you to do all of that, like, pre-work. But let's see how... I'll speed it up. I'll speed it up a little bit, just because I'm doing this for an audience. If you are not a Sims player, just Control-Shift-C to open the cheats. And then Kaching gets you 1,000. I'll just do that 5 times. It's fun that they didn't cancel the, that didn't invalidate my challenge at all. I was hoping it wouldn't, but I thought it might. So, steampunk fly-imaging. And we're gonna build this. So the game obviously wants you to do a bunch of other stuff before you start going into space, which I don't know about that, considering that the scenario is one of their drawbacks, is that if your sim merges household with another sim, they lose, the scenario gets cancelled. And the problem with that is that the majority of Sims players, I don't know if you noticed this in the list of challenges that I showed earlier, but the majority of Sims players are most interested in generational, heteronormative, get married, have babies style challenges. There are other ones that exist, but the other ones that exist tend to either be focused on building, on creatism, or on doing fucked up social experiments. And yeah, that's just not the route this one allows for. Those are not routes that this challenge allows for. The other interesting thing about this challenge is that it doesn't involve at all the you can be an alien in this game. Here's the thing. Like, there are alien Sims, and this challenge has nothing to do with them. I think it's really interesting, and I think that'll be because aliens come with the Get to Work expansion pack, which does not, which implies that this is intended to be a base game challenge. I don't play base game only, because I only have free pack, because I'm a disaster human being, basically. I need them like a vice, like a drug. We've gone over a month without anything new recently, and I'm not coping. But yeah, it's really interesting that this doesn't include those areas of gameplay that the majority of long-term simmers play, and I think that it's because of two things. One, Maxis has no idea what the community wants. They never do. They're always trying to guess. But there are a couple of problems with it. And one is that the majority of Sims players are not the Sims players who communicate with the Sims team. The online communities of Sims players are quite unhinged and very loud, and very vocal, but I would say they probably don't even remotely capture a very big proportion of the amount of people who play The Sims. If you asked your average person who plays The Sims, like, who has maybe the base game, maybe just a couple of packs, who maybe plays it for a week every 6 months, you know, the classic Sims cycle of, I play this game obsessively for 2 days and then I don't touch it for 6 months. I think EA is trying to target those people and turn them into bigger fans, people who play more often. Because people who play more often want the new packs. It's business. And so I think that the challenges created by the community serve this function of bringing interest to people who play this game every day, and think about it all the time, etc., etc., and fulfilling their interest. And the Sims team is trying to coax extended gameplay out of casual players. And I don't know how effective that's been, but I'm guessing not very. If the challenges are working like this. Because from a game design perspective, this is very little instruction. Also, this text is so small. There's very little instruction. The Sim doesn't have much money. And a single Sim living alone is not interesting gameplay. It's difficult to... In fact, like, I'm genuinely going to put this on 3 times speed until she gets up in the morning for work, and then it's going to be on 3 times speed while she's at work, because a Sim living alone is extremely boring. They're not talking to anybody. They're not doing anything interesting. They have plenty of time to work on their skills. And fuck off and do whatever they want. And those... You know, it's like... What is going on here that is actually engaging? It's not difficult. It's not... It's just long. It's not particularly deep. I truly, when I first read this, the name of this and the pitch for this challenge, I thought it'd be much more interesting. But you'll see it soon. Space travel isn't even an engaging part of the game. You don't see it. Let's quit building for a minute. Building a rocket takes fucking ages. It takes several days of sim time. And it's just the sim going bash, bash, wrench, wrench for the entire time. And then when they go to space, they get in the rocket ship, they do a little wave, and they wear their spacesuit. And then they disappear into the sky. And your only way of keeping track of what they're doing is through little dialogue boxes that pop up that have text on them and, like, options you can pick. And that's it. That's the... Oh, let's turn on auto lights. That's it. It's text-based primarily and off-screen. The alien collectibles are fun. I do like them. They're very cute. They're some of my favourite collectibles in the game. But the process of getting them is fundamentally not that exciting. And I don't think that realistically, inviting players to do this is going to be creating very much interest from them. Like, it has the inspiration of Sims challenges, but nowhere near the kind of rigor that they demand. And so let's go have breakfast instead. Make a fruit salad. And like once my sim is going to work, it will become. Oh, she has work right now. She has work right now. Okay, screw your fruit salad. Just go to work. I'll feed you there in a couple of hours. Now the game's prompting me to go to university, which I will not be doing. Okay, Giles got her big space geography exam coming up tomorrow. If she doesn't pass, she'll never be accepted into flight school, but she's been doing busy work all day and hasn't studied. Should she cram or just take it easy, get some rest and hope for the best? We're going to take it easy. Oh, we lost some performance. That's fine. I don't care about that. Humor and Hijinks Festival is good. That I could probably get about $500 if I go to that. But that won't get us any further through the challenge, so we won't go. Play some chess, get your fun levels up, and then we'll return to building the rocket. Sims challenges are much harder than... I mean, Johnny Zest wants me to go. Oh no, we're not going to. We're going to build this rocket. I should have made her a loner. That would have been her skill... Oh, sorry, her whatchamacallit, her social need would decrease slower. Oh. Quick question, Leslie Holland and I were planning to speak as a casual from Untitled Chapter. Should I do it? Yeah, go for it. I don't give a fuck. That brings up an interesting point. So that's something that The Sims recently, I mentioned that The Sims have richer inner lives than they used to. That little call was an example of that. So, over the last couple of years, The Sims has been adding more depth and individuality to Sims. It's done that by completely elongating this panel here. So we've always had traits. You get 3 plus a bonus 1 from your aspiration. Last year... Hang on, my dog is... One sec. Bella! Bella! Come here. The dog is also deaf. So I'll be right back. One sec. Okay. What was I saying? Oh yeah. They last year, I believe, it might have been the year before. No, I think it was last year. They introduced likes and dislikes, which is like activities that your sim likes or doesn't like, or as well as like favorite colors, favorite like interior design styles, and music. Then the year before that, or perhaps the year No, it would have been in, I think it was 2020. They released Lifestyles, which are um, what they're like new traits that your sim earns. I'll bring them up here. They basically, there's a bunch of opposing things like indoorsy or outdoorsy, no techie, energetic, sedentary, close to people person. Basically impact like how your sim feels about their life, and certain activities. They suck, kind of. Light sticks dislikes are much more effective. And then these are pack specific things that I'm not really caring about right now. But these things, as well as something that was introduced at the same time as lifestyles, which is sentiments, which I don't have any sentiments with this guy. But it's a thing with characters where the sim will have an emotional reaction to being around that sim, based on past events. Absolutely unheard of before 2020. This game came out in 2013, and until 2020, Sims had no inner life. And then in 2020, they introduced sentiments and lifestyles, and it changed the game. Prior to those, Simmers were 100% fabricating any emotional reaction a Sim was having, even though Sims in The Sims 4 literally have emotions. They can be focused or inspired or angry or embarrassed or sad or happy, or flirty. That's the other one. But other than those things, but those completely kind of come up randomly. They don't influence a Sim's behaviour very much, other than make it impossible to do certain things. For example, if you're very sad or very angry, you're no good at romance. If you're very stressed, you can't do anything other than fun stuff. No, you need a shower in the bathroom, so let's deal with that. But those have been around since 2013, and they really have no impact on the Sim's personality. Though your traits can make certain ones come up more often. For example, because I made this Sim a genius, she'll be focused more often than other Sims. Let's have a different kind of salad. And so any in their life was dictated entirely by those, by the challenges that Sims created for themselves. They don't... Simmers would, well, still do, set up stories and react in certain ways as though the Sim is reacting in that way themselves. Speed up. Even though the Sim themselves has no... doesn't give it. Like, truly just exists as like a little guy on the screen who... poops and pees and no trespassing vampires. Oh, Bella. Hello, Bella. Hello. I don't know if you guys, you probably can't see my dog. I want to show you the dog. I'm going to pick up my laptop and show you the dog. This is Bella. She is an old lady, and she is deaf. And she has all sorts of weird little lumps and bumps all over her. But she's doing her best. She's probably sad right now because my mum is still at work. She's mostly sad when mum isn't here. yeah, there's a lot that is inputted into these sims that doesn't exist really. Family relationships that aren't literal parent-child or sibling relationships are completely created by players. But yeah, this type of challenge, I think one of the ways it's failing is that it doesn't create an internal life. The best challenges give Sims a clearer personality. Like certain traits or certain aspirations being necessary, because the sim can't get married or anything, because of the merging households thing. There's not much that we can do in this game other than literally just blindly work on the challenge, which is not interesting. There's no opportunity to give this sim hobbies or well, I mean, there's opportunity. Like, you could do it, but the game doesn't prompt it, which is a little bit disappointing, to be honest. In the classic legacy challenge, your personality is the challenge of achieving all of the things that you need to achieve in each generation. In other legacy challenges, the thing that hooks you in is the story that the challenge is requiring you to tell. And who knows, there could be more, the other challenges could be much more, I think a lot of the other challenges are actually much more story based, but this one, even though it's kind of new, I think it's not one of the first ones that came out for sure, just fundamentally doesn't hook in the kind of way that the successful challenges do. It doesn't create any sort of story, even though it prompts one. Like, it shows here a sim obsessed with outer space, but there's no mechanical indication of that obsession. There's no reinforcement of that, other than what I create for myself, which I haven't done. Oh, there is supposed to be a camera on screen. Oh my god, did I show you nothing? Oh, yeah, no, there's no... Huh. There it is. I'll show you the dog again, now that I'm here. I'll open that up, though, so that you're not looking at the infinite OBS. There she is. An analyst asks Joel to calculate some trajectories for satellite orbits. It's just total snooze fest. Joel's already busy. She can either try to find a formula to make the equations easier, or calculate each one by hand. Find a formula. Hey! I got a bonus. I don't know why they got that idea. Yeah, if I was playing this normally, I would be trying to create manually create those sort of inner lives in the way that other Sims do, in the way that I would do in any other freeform gameplay, but with this being a with this being one stream, and I want to look at a different scenario every stream, or a different challenge every stream, I thought I would just jump in and do what it told me to do. And the basic Sims experience of like keeping the bars in the green, and fulfilling the instructions isn't bringing me the I didn't get a promotion. I thought I was going to get a promotion. It's rude that I didn't. Let's just play chess, actually, instead of watching TV. Yeah, it's not prompting that sort of gameplay, in the same way that they're successful, successful community built challenges do. I would be interested to find out if this challenge is popular or not. I don't think those stats exist. But I would be really interested in finding out if they do. There's in terms of relating this back to tabletop game design, which is theoretically what we're here for, right? Instead of me just critiquing EA. Yeah, go for it, mate. I don't care. The reason I'm linking these challenges back to tabletop game design is the roleplay thing, and specifically, actually just have dinner. Let's have grilled cheese. And specifically, Jay Dragon's playground theory talks. I haven't seen all of Jay's talks or blog posts on this topic, but it's one that I find really, really fascinating, and I think Jay has a really, really good points when Jay says that the first roleplay people do is quite often not actually like at a table deliberately role-playing, but is actually the games that children create for themselves on the playground, where they are pretending to be something. Jay mentions a lot Warrior Cats. At my primary school, we played Charmed. It's quite often the media that the children are consuming. And I think it's really, really interesting to see that kind of roleplay re-evolves in online communities like communities of Sims players. I think that this is kind of a playground game, and it's really, really interesting to me that the Sims is trying to mechanize that sort of playground the playground challenge, the playground roleplay playstyle, when they clearly aren't quite sure what it is. They're not quite sure what they're doing here. I think that's funny. I think it's really interesting. I think it's great that corporation has no idea what they're doing. I love it anytime a corporation hasn't got a clue what they're doing. Um, but, and I think there is resistance. So, um, I watch one Sims YouTuber, um, a little Simsy, who's great. She's a lot of fun. She's very casual. She doesn't do any of the blatant racism, homophobia, transphobia, or ableism that is prominent in a lot of online Sims spaces. I really enjoy her. Um, every now and again, she'll do one of these challenges, and almost every time, she just isn't that into it. And I think it's because there's nothing compelling about the stories that the EA is imposing, as well, and also just the fact it's mechanized into the game, um, takes away, I think, something that is under. That I think that the Sims team is undervaluing, which is the act of creating manual family trees and spreadsheets, and tracking things with a separate piece of software or equipment or whatever. There's a lot of the storytelling goes on not during gameplay, but when the gameplay is being reframed for an audience. I personally don't enjoy that side of it. I'm just here to play the game. But this is not good TV. This isn't good radio. The only thing that's making me doing this challenge interesting is the fact that I am critiquing it and talking about it. At all. And also that you got to see my dog briefly. And that you know who I am and you appreciate my thoughts. But otherwise, this basic gameplay, eh. Nothing's happening. She gets up in the morning, she eats, she goes to the bathroom, she goes to work, she comes back, she builds the rocket, she goes to bed. And it's not doing anything for her. It's not doing anything for us. I think there's other things that I could be doing to make this more interesting again, but that is not what the game has told us to do or gotten us to do at all. So we're not doing it. If the game prompts me to do it, I'll do it, but playing the challenge as written, nothing is going on here. Yeah, it's kind of disappointing, but it's, I've had a lot to talk about at least. I think for the frog one, looks interesting. I have a feeling it would be more of the same, but with more travelling to different lots, because it would just be rooting around in... So here we go. Now we're getting somewhere. She was stressed at work. She has no fun need, and so we're gonna have to break the monotony for a bit, to keep her spirits up. So that's something at least. But let's play chess. Now you know what? Let's invite Johnny over, and we can play chess with him. because his social needs, yeah, starting to get low as well. There he is. And you'll notice as well that I have been playing for 40 minutes or so, and we haven't even gotten to space once yet. As the driving force of this game, it's not really succeeding. You know, it's the driving force of this scenario. It's not doing it. Which is also disappointing, right? There should be, I think that there's an expectation that if your gameplay is supposed to be about bringing back 5 unique living alien critters from voyages, then make it about going on space voyages. Not about going to work and making money so that you can build your rocket ship. Even though that is something, it's not nothing. Spam calling. I can't believe I get prank calls in The Sims. It's bullshit. Yeah, it's not fulfilling the promise that it gave. I think if they'd given us required traits or a special aspiration or something, that would have been fun. I don't actually think there is an astronaut-related aspiration, but I'll check. How do we look? Let's see. It might be under knowledge. I think this one has some rocket ship stuff in it, but again, that's not really. Bella, did you just fart? Ew. Yeah, there's not really a astronaut related aspiration, which means that there's not a lot of, well, except the Star Wars ones, but these are stupid anyway. These are like also quite stupid. And actually have nothing to do with the rocket science skill or actually going into space, because it's entirely based on the Disneyland area based on Star Wars. It's literally Star Wars as experienced at a theme park. It's not Star Wars. It's very stupid. Also, you can be a Sith, or no, you can be on the side of the Empire, which is fucked up to me. I don't think that's the Star Wars experience, personally. I'm pretty sure Kylo Ren is there. Horrible. Let's watch a stupid movie with our friend. Which I'm just inventing stuff now. Like, oh yeah, she's gonna watch a movie with her friend because the fun is low, and I could just be building the rocket ship. But no. Da-da-da. going to bed now. Bye. Yeah. So this is a bit of a disappointing scenario. We'll get into hopefully I'll get into a more interesting one next week. I think we'll do all of the existing scenarios and then we'll start looking at fan-made challenges. Or at least, maybe not all of the scenarios. A lot of them suck, I think. But we'll do some, and then when we get sick of the scenarios, we'll try some fan-made challenges, and we'll see how that goes as well. Obviously I won't be doing any of the, like, grossly racist or ableist ones, or, just because I don't want to. But, and we won't do any long legacy challenges, but I might start one and show you the beginning of, like, how the setup works for a legacy challenge, because that can be really interesting, actually. It's a really, interesting starting point. But, come on. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to get to space once, and then when I've done that, I will, call the stream, because there's no point in playing this thing to completion, which sucks. It's disappointing. It's not interesting. If they made even if they made the goal, like, build a rocket ship, that would have been more interesting, I think. But yeah, it's just a bit sucky. I don't like this. I don't know. I'm just gonna distract you for a minute. Look at this. Look at this shitty. What is that? What is that architecture? That's these, like, panels next to the sideboard. It's ugh. Oh, good for you, Johnny. All right. Oh, you're never having fun. I'm gonna make you build the rocket even though you're not having fun. I don't care. Like I said as well, building a rocket isn't interesting. I wish it was more like the robotics skill, which you, like, need to create parts for. Oh, look, the ship's done. Okay, let's go to space. Let's go to space. Yeah, likes rocket science. Space. And you'll see what I mean as well when this goes up. Goes up. And now we just sit here. Oh, we're lost. Okay. Joelle is gliding through the galaxy when she notices a constellation she has never seen before. Interesting. Double checking her coordinates, Joelle realizes she is not where she thought at all. What's more, her ship's GPS, Galactic Positioning System, has gone black. She is lost in space. Keep calm. And then there's a wait, and then the next one will come up. A treasure map. Trying not to panic, Joelle scans the horizon for familiar stars. There, a flashing light. She zooms closer, only to discover a mysterious glass canister with what looks like a message beacon inside. Extracting it, Joelle finds a map with an X marked on the planet near the constellation's head. It's almost too good to be trusted. What now? I'm going to follow that, because it seems interesting. The tunnel! Sure enough, the map leads Joelle to a shard-looking planet with a lone tree growing from a cliff. At first glance, the place seems abandoned, but then she notices the opening to a small tunnel beneath the tree. Go in? Yes. Oh, she's been seen. Joelle calls out and there's no answer. The only sound is a soft dripping. She treads quietly into the tunnel, but suddenly everything goes black. She whirls, flipping on her trusty headlamp. Eyes glow in the narrow beam, not two, but hundreds. Joelle can try to talk her way out of this, or run like crazy. Let's talk to the aliens. She's back. Hang on. Joelle has always been a good talker, and lies are easier when they contain a smidgen of the truth. Explaining about the broken GPS, she leads the spider-like creatures towards her rocket ship, and sure enough, the screen is still black. Muttering, an alien technician climbs aboard and slams it 3 times. Magic! Joelle enters her home coordinates and clears out fast. And that was it. That's... Congratulations. She did it. She went to space. She didn't get a collectible. And also, she wasn't gone for very long. She's still got time to eat and stuff before bed. But she's not excited about it. She's focused. But yeah, this is not a compelling challenge. I think we're going to leave it here for today. But I hope you enjoyed this completely uncompelling journey that we've been on. What I think I'm going to do is I'm going to cancel this challenge, cancel the scenario, and I will save this game, and we're going to make Joelle do every challenge, every scenario. That'll be fun. Alright, let's exit to my menu. Save and exit. Alright, well, thank you for coming along. I will hopefully be putting this on YouTube. I have been recording the stream, though it'll be a bit embarrassing when all of my technical mishaps are visible, but that's fine. Yeah. We'll come back to this next week, and we'll try to see if there are any more successful scenarios. Oh, and here's the infinite OBS, and so I'll say goodbye. Bye!